Welcome to another Tim's Travels video, where this time you'll find myself and Fee doing our peripatetic thing around the region of Murcia. We're on buses and coaches today. Firstly, we're going to be travelling from our base in Puerto de Mazarron to Totana with Autocares Martinez. Then it's a rail replacement bus service from Totana to Murcia with Autocares Muñoz. And then finally from Murcia back to Puerto with Interbus. So let's see how we get on. Just one thing to add, at the time of filming, it was mandatory to wear a face covering on public transport in Spain. Autocares Martinez are a relatively small bus company in the region. They operate 2 services and actually began life just with one guy and a taxi and gradually expanded into bus and coach service. Now, I think it's fair to say this coach is showing its age a little bit. The yellow curtains are quite nice. As you can see, there's a handle missing from one of the seats here, and the grills from the overhead air vents have disappeared. We departed the bus station a few minutes late, and yeah, not quite sure what was going on, as you will hear in a moment.
So I'm not sure what happened this morning. That was a speed bump. So I unleashed my Spanish on the bus driver and asked for 2 tickets to Totana, and he wouldn't take any money from me. So I don't know what's going to happen at Totana. We shall see. But we're on the bus and we're going. It was a mad rush as usual, but it's all good. So we have an update on the bus ticket situation. So the bus left Puerto de Mazarron, which is where we joined it, and we got waved onto the bus. Then our first scheduled stop was at Nuevo, and from there we were beckoned by the bus driver, and
there was a few of us, so I don't quite know what. Maybe he didn't have enough change.
Don't know.
I don't know.
What we paid, we're legal. It's all good,
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is.
Thanks for doing
now
that.
allowed to travel.
Cool. Mrs. Tim's Travels has raised an excellent question this morning, which is,
why are we going to Totana?
and my answer is because it's where the bus goes. There's no other reason than that. It kind of fits in with our scheduled times today, but
And I thought he was taking me out for a nice romantic day.
well, I think a day out in public transport is fairly romantic. Let me know in the comments.
I think it's time for some serious seat reviewing.
So Mrs. TT, would you like to give us a seat review?
So far, it's really quite comfy. It's very spacious. For being nearly 6 foot tall, I still have plenty of leg room, which is good. The seats sort of mould around the body. I was going to say it's nice. You feel secure.
Good,
I think
secure.
it's secure, yeah.
Very good. All in all, thumbs up.
Yes.
Great. And as someone who's nearly 6 feet wide, I find it quite comfy as well.
So apart from the early scare about not being able to pay, this was a largely uneventful journey, except for this, which I think has got to be the loneliest and saddest looking bus station I've ever seen. About an hour later, we're pulling into Totana. Our fare cost €3.15 each for a single fare, which you can't argue with. Excellent value for money.
Okay, so here we are in Totana at the bus station, which is very conveniently located right next to the railway station, so that's excellent. So Mrs. Tim's Travels, did you enjoy your bus journey with Autocares Martinez?
I did. Very uneventful. Absolutely fine.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
problem at all.
I think the bus was showing its age a wee bit, but it was still very comfy, wasn't it?
It was,
Yeah,
and
it
the driver was lovely.
He was, yeah, very, very helpful. So all in all, thumbs up for Autocares Martinez. So our train journey has become a rail replacement bus service, and I think it's because of upgrading work that's happening on the line. But you know,
And sure enough, the departure board makes it clear that it's all buses. So these coaches are being operated by Autocares Martinez for Renfe. This first one's headed to Lorca, and the second one here is our coach to take us to Murcia del Carmen. And I think the interior of this coach looks great, very modern looking. I love the seats, I think they look fantastic, and we'll see how they are for comfort later on in the journey. But we depart on time, and really we're following largely the route that the train would take, so we're headed past the railway line for much of the way. And as for the coach, yep, curtains, very nice. We've got USB charging sockets down at the side of the seats, which is always welcome. And overhead, yep, got lights over the head. They all worked. Air vents with the grills in place as well. So yeah, everything was really good. Really like the mood lighting of the coach as well. I love this kind of blue overhead lighting. Just great, very pleasant way to travel.
So we're about halfway into our journey, and I think it's time for Mrs. Tim's Travels to give us her opinion on the seat.
The seats are really comfortable. My only criticism, I suppose it is you'll notice here it's leatherette, and it's the same down the sides of the seats. So when you're wearing shorts or maybe like a wee vest top that I've got on, you can find it a bit sticky or may slide a wee bit. The other main bit's fabric, which is fine, but other than that, spot on, really comfy.
No, I didn't have the same issues that Mrs. Tim's Travels did, because I very seldom wear a little vest top. So for me, the seat's perfect.
And in terms of leg space, yeah, absolutely fine. Couldn't fault it. So this journey took approximately 50 minutes and it cost €2.70 each, which again I think is really good value for money. I would just like to give a special mention to the Renfe staff at Totana, to one woman in particular who went above and beyond to help us. I think she saw two English-speaking travellers who were struggling to use the Renfe ticket machines. I don't think we're the only people to have problems with the Renfe ticket machines, but she went outside, found someone who spoke English, got us our tickets, and just, I mean, we would have muddled through, but isn't it just nice when there's someone there who takes the initiative to help? And well done, Renfe, that was very, very impressive.
So here we are at Murcia del Carmen railway station, and as rail replacement bus services go, that was pretty good.
It was very good, a lovely coach.
Yeah, so nothing much more to say, except I'd have preferred a train, but you can't have everything in life, can you?
You can't.
No. But anyway. So we are at Murcia bus station, and we're going to be catching a bus with Interbus down to Puerto de Mazarron.
It probably won't come as much as a surprise that Murcia bus station was the largest of the stations that we visited on this day out. It's used for local, national and international services, and is used by the likes of ALSA, Flixbus, BAM, who we're travelling with, Interbus and many others. Here is our bus, a Scania SC7. But what about this? The bus on the stance next to us, travelling from Lagos in Portugal to Sofia in Bulgaria. Do you fancy that? And after a quick check of our tickets by the driver, it's time to board.
There's the recline feature.
Very nice. That's an added bonus.
It is incredibly dark in here. I think we've got tinted glass and we're under shade cover, but down there is a recline lever for my seat as well, so that's all good and it works.
Overhead you've got your air vents and they worked. What we couldn't find was an overhead light. Maybe it was there and we just couldn't see it. There's also overhead USB charging. Is that a strange place to have a USB charge point? I don't know. Would you need a lengthy cable? If you're on an overnight journey or a nighttime journey, it is good though that you can do this, so you're not going to be disturbed by that light.
So we haven't left the bus station yet, but Mrs. Tim's Travels wants to do a seat review already. Over to you.
It's very cramped. My knees are hitting the seat in front, and it's not particularly comfortable at all. And we've got a journey of what, an hour and 10 minutes?
Oh, yes.
So we'll see how it goes, but no, so far not so good.
You're not a happy bunny, are you?
No.
Furious, quite furious.
No, not quite furious, but I'm tall and I need leg space.
Oh. Have you tried using the recline feature?
I'm on the recline feature.
You're not old.
Despite Mrs. Tim's Travels protestations, I found the seat to be quite comfy, and I liked the little Interbus motif on the upholstery here on the seat. Okay, so maybe the legroom was a little bit tight, but look at those legs. So Interbus began life in 1972, and according to their website they have 40 coaches, and today's service was absolutely fine. One thing that was advertised on the front of the coach is that Wi-Fi is available. It wasn't. Now that's not a big deal for me because I'm quite happy just to be looking out the window and seeing what's going on. But what about you? Is that a major thing for you if Wi-Fi's there or not there? Do you need Wi-Fi on a coach journey? Let me know in the comments. As for the seating issue, well, we found a solution to that. I moved. An hour and 10 minutes after setting off from Murcia bus station, we're back where we started our day at Puerto de Mazarron. Now, our fare today was €6.15 each. Again, I think that's decent value for money. I don't think you can argue with that. And if you can bear it, hang on a little bit longer and you can get our thoughts on our day's experience. I do appreciate this has been a lengthy video, but yeah, you hang about for a wee bit longer just to see what you thought. If you would like to support the channel, I do have a Ko-fi page. I'll put a link in the description to that. But as I say, thanks for watching and do hang about for our thoughts.
Okay, so here we are back in our base in Puerto de Mazarron in Murcia, and if you've been following the last couple of videos, we've basically done a circular trip from Puerto to Totana to Murcia back to Puerto, the last leg being with Interbus. So, how did you find Interbus, Mrs. TT?
The actual journey itself was really good. The seat I did find uncomfortable, only in the lack of space for my knees. But if you get two seats to yourself and can sit sideways, far better, because you moved to the other side, and it was ideal. I sat side on and not a problem at all. The journey just flew by.
Excellent. So I thought Interbus were pretty good. I noticed about halfway into the journey that there were Bryan Adams songs being played on loop. Now, I don't think that was anything to do with Interbus. I think it was one of our fellow passengers was playing Bryan Adams, and I don't mind the soft rock ramblings of Bryan Adams, but it does mean I have some of his songs going round and round in my head. But otherwise, they were good and reasonably priced.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, for viewers, so this is our first trip abroad since 2019, because of 2018, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the C word. And normally we would hire a car, wouldn't we? We would normally hire a car.
We have in the past.
And we looked at it this time, and to be honest, it was ridiculously expensive. I mean, prohibitively expensive, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So you came up with the great idea of
public transport.
Just do it all on public transport. So that's what we've done. It's been absolutely great. Now, of the three services we used today, so we had Autocares Martinez from Puerto to Totana, then we had a rail replacement bus service with Renfe from Totana to Murcia, and then Interbus from Murcia back to Puerto. Which was your favourite?
You're not going to like it, but it was the replacement bus, because it was more like a coach. It was lovely to travel on. I did enjoy that one.
I thought it was pretty good as well. Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think the Renfe staff were outstanding. They were so helpful. They
couldn't have done
really
more.
really good. Interbus, fine. I think it's Renfe, then Martinez, and then Interbus.
I would agree.
But I mean, they were all fine, and they were all very reasonably priced. But anyway, we are having a well-earned drink, because this YouTube thing is not as easy as other people make it look. And we'd just like to say thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for forthcoming videos, and just please remember that everything I do it for you.